So today I'm in the Vasa Museum in Stockholm. The Vasa was a ship that sank actually on its maiden voyage and was recovered more than 300 years afterwards. What you see here is just a model. Here in the back is the real thing. This is how the Vasa looked in its original state, fully painted. And here you can see the absolute huge, real ship. I will get a bit closer so you can get an idea of its scale. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people here, but I will probably be able to give you some nice shots. So the ship sank on its maiden voyage, only 1,500 meters out on Sweden's harbor. It was engineered too high and too narrow, and it did not have enough ballast in the bottom, so the center of gravity was too high. It started to tilt and list and took water through the open gun ports and sank. And as I find so fascinating that the only reason that we still have this ship here is because of an engineering failure. All the ships that were designed properly did not survive, but this ship, which was actually a fail, survived because of it. So it lay on the bottom of the harbor for 333 years and was preserved very well because this water in the Baltic Sea has a quite low oxygen content, and it was sitting in some kind of mud, so that it is why it's so well preserved. And let's see if I can show you a bit of the scale of the ship. Down here you can see somebody walking beside of it. It is absolutely fantastic. Brilliantly preserved, so they say that about 98% of the ship was preserved. The upper deck was a bit restored because people salvaging the cannons destroyed parts of the upper deck when they were salvaging the cannons as early as the 17th century. I'll just walk around it now for a bit and then walk up the stairs to show you some of the upper parts of the ship. Pointing at the bottom so I don't film too many of the other people here. And I'm currently using the museum Wi-Fi. I don't know how stable it will be for streaming. We will see in a second. So the colors on the ship did not survive very well. This is why it's in this more or less monochrome color. But back in the back there are some restorations which I will show you of how it originally looked. And you can see how absolutely well it is preserved. It is a bit like something out of a computer game. Oh, hallo Adriano. Ich bin hier gerade beim Vasa-Schiff in Stockholm. Das ist komplett erhalten, das ist gesunken. Und sie haben es dann 300 Jahre später wieder ausgegraben. Hast du keine Schule? Oder ist die Schule schon vorbei? Okay. So here in the back, you can still see all the carvings. These are all original. But of course the color did not survive. But here in the back they have replicas of some of the original carvings and how they looked. And here you can see how tall this is. Okay, I will now walk up the stairs to show you the view from a bit further up. Sag Bescheid, wenn du irgendwas Besonderes sehen willst, Adriano. Das ist hier alles interaktiv. I just have to find the stairs. So they are replacing the old iron bolts with stainless steel ones, since the original iron has already rusted away and normal steel. We're gonna be on a boat and it's sitting still and it looks cool. Hi Michael-san, how are you doing? Well, this is not only a boat, this is the largest preserved 17th century ship. It's an engineering failure, but that's why it survived. It sank in its maiden voyage and was lifted out of Stockholm harbor 300 years after it has sunk. It's absolutely large and almost completely preserved. Down there, people are still working on it. I'm walking upstairs now to show you a bit of the view of the upper deck. One level further up, you can see the upper deck. And there's also a replication of the inside. Maybe I should show you that first, if I can walk it from there. No, I have to get one further up. Okay, let's see if I can. I don't know if there's a staircase back there. Maybe you could design a minifig scale version of this, Michael-san. If you want to know what the ship is, it's called Vasa, V-A-S-A. And this is where you get a nice view of the upper deck. So here we have a nice replica of the figurehead. Which is a lion, which is a male lion, of course. And it is supposed to represent the king. And this is the ship. I will walk to the figurehead in a second. Since all the paint fell off, you could design it with just a single color. So this is an interesting detail. I don't know if you can see it. So the Swedes were at war with the Polish at the time. And they are depicting a Pole sitting under a bench, having to bark like a dog. And you can also see one of the two toilets on the ship from here. So that one bucket, the square bucket, was one of the two toilets. It was not flushed, it just went down onto the sea, of course. And from the toilet, and these were the ropes for the anchors were put. And here we have the lying figurehead. And this is, of course, a part that was destroyed and replicated. So the parts in a lighter wood are replicated. Oh, hi, VR gamer. I'm just showing them the Vasa ship. It's unbelievable, so this is definitely a must-see if you ever go to Stockholm. This is an example of engineering failure, but the only reason it did survive because it was failed. Eating breakfast, well, enjoy. Still working from home? I'm just showing them the upper deck. So this ship is absolutely large. I think you can get an idea of its scale from up here. It was really lucky that it was preserved so well. In other waters and at higher temperatures, it would have rotten away. But since this Baltic Sea is quite cold and has a rather low oxygen level, the wood was very well preserved. It was sitting on the sea for more than 300 years. Oh, and there's some people working. Oh, I wish I could walk on the deck also. So who would like to have this job? I think this is like an archaeologist's dream job. And all these carvings are completely original. So what they did, they replaced the water content in the wood with a chemical called PEG. You started watching The Terror, which is a series looking for the Northwest Passage north of Canada. Oh, you mean before global warming, when it opened regularly? The boats are similar in that show? Really? I thought they would have been looking later than that. That's interesting. But I guess so this ship was not very well designed in that it was too tall and too narrow. So the center of gravity was too high and it sunk during its maiden voyage. It started to list like 1,500 meters out of port and took water through the lower cannon holes. It's set in the 1800s. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this ship here was built like in the late 17th century, like 1680 or something. When I first saw the ship, it reminded me a bit of a computer game. Sometimes in a computer game, you see these old abandoned ships, I think in one of the Lara Loft games, but that ship was hanging upside down. So here we have some more replications of the carved figures. This is one of the Roman soldiers that was adorning in the front. It's quite nice that they show you where the monument was located on the ship. So one of the 20 Roman emperors on the beakhead. I have never heard that word before. So 10 on each side. But you can see the scale of these figures. Oh yeah, and this is the Polish enemy I was talking about. A despised dog, so they were at war with the Poles, and this is where it was located, in the black area. So they always had room to even depict the enemies. Figures from the back. And even a peasant woman had place on the ship. Isn't this fantastic? There, the little black spot up there, and you can even see her nipples. So this is King David. Always good to have a biblical reference. But I think this is the post-killing Goliath. I forgot to show you on the upper deck. Here you can see the doorways leading down to the decks in the back.
Okay.
And of course, Proteus has to be here. Oh, it's not Prometheus. And from here you can see the back of the ship with all its carving in detail. So I'm at the back of the ship now. Unfortunately, I cannot go to the center because I would be blocking the view for everybody. But it's just brilliant how these carvings are preserved after sitting on the sea for 300 years. Okay, so I'll just go down one more floor and show you the replica of the ship's captain's cabin and a replica of a cannon deck, and then should be all. I just have to cut in line a bit.
I highly also recommend it, and it's also upstairs in an elevator. I very much recommend.
My feet hurt after only 4 days of walking. Okay. Okay. So this is a replication of the Great Cabin. And through the back on the door you could enter the deck, and we will walk there in just a second. They found quite some skeletons, and the skeletons were of course much shorter than we are today. I would have been a tall man back then, even though I'm very small. So unfortunately I cannot really walk into there because there's a group of people with the tour standing there. Maybe I can enter through the other side. Here you can see one of the gun hole covers, including a gun. I don't know if you can see if it's loaded or not. And here you can see free the cannon. Yes, sure. I guess it's going to be quite dark in here. So the skeletons they found, the men were about an average like 1.65 centimeters tall, which is much lower than the average size of people today. And most people have trouble standing in here. I don't, because I'm a small guy. Oh, you said fire the cannon. I thought you said free the cannon. Yes, 1.65. Did I say centimeters? They were not that small, no. Okay, one last view of the whole ship. And then I'm gonna sign off from this museum. Well, in Germany we use a comma, but I'm used to using a point now. This is one thing where we are different in English and German. And here again is one last view at the replica, how it looked originally. Okay, and with that I'm signing off. I will be visiting the wreck museum with other shipwrecks today, and probably some more modern art galleries if I get the chance, and there's not too many people. I will probably also stream if there's some nice stuff in the modern art galleries. I will visit the Museum of Modern Art only tomorrow. That is supposed to be very good, and I want to take some more time for that. Yeah, it is indeed wonderful. It was sitting on the bottom of the sea for 333 years. Climb the rigging. You know, I'm afraid of heights. And I think I would be thrown into prison if I were to enter it. Maybe I should find a place where I can swing from it with a rope. Okay, that's it for me. I will probably stream later if I get a good chance, good network connection, and something nice to show you guys. See you all later and have a great day. Bye bye.